What is the number one question that strikes fear and doubt in almost every woman entrepreneur around the world? That question is, do you have a business plan? That's what we're going to be talking about today on our episode of the Joyful Business TV. So on Joyful Business TV, we're going to be talking about creative business planning. This is a little different than traditional business planning. What if you could have a business plan that was fun and creative and you wanted to work on it, and it could be a guide where you hold all of your ideas and priorities and you keep using it all year long as a guide to be able to help you focus and hold your ideas and really guide you throughout the year. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I am Laura West. I am the CEO of the Center for Joyful Business, a business success coach, and author, speaker, and obviously the host of this show. So I am so glad that you are here today and that you have found Joyful Business TV. My intention is that this is a wonderful oasis of sanity, creativity, passion, and joy for you and your business. And I think it's really important because in a world where it's full of loud noises of all these shoulds and must-dos and all this pressure about hustle and grinding and being available 24/7, and then these soul-crushing standards that we see all over social media, you know what, it just doesn't fit who we are as real women with our day-to-day lives running a business. So at Joyful Business TV, that's what we're all about. We're about focusing on the inspiration, the dreams, the passion, the possibilities, being authentic, and of course the joy. And then using these expansive qualities so that you can grow a business that you love. And that not only that you love, but you're going to continue to love it tomorrow and the next day and continuing on. All right, so today we're going to talk about creative business planning. So my experience with business planning, I used to be a VP of marketing in the shopping center business for years. And at one time we had 50 shopping malls. So 50 shopping malls around the country. We had to do a marketing plan and a business plan for each one. That's 100 business plans in 1 year, business and marketing plans in 1 year. So multiply that by all the years. Add that, every shopping center had about 100 retailers. We would often see business plans from those retailers. And then all of the entrepreneurs that I've coached over the years. I mean, literally, I have worked on thousands of business plans. But you know what? There's a lot of old energy around business planning. And that's why it's one of those questions that every woman entrepreneur and a lot of men get a little anxious about, like, oh my gosh, do I have a business plan? What is a business plan? And we have this old idea of some sort of really official Excel spreadsheet filled plan that we have to be able to take to the bank, right? And take to investors. That's not what we're talking about here. That's a whole different kind of business plan, right? That's a business plan for other people. We need a business plan for ourselves to help guide us and inspire us and keep us focused while allowing us to say yes to things and to say no to things. So today I want to bust some myths about what a business plan can be and give you some ideas about what you really need in a plan. And then I'm going to get you started on some ways to thinking about your plan, getting yourself set up. And then we're going to dive into some of the first things that you want to get together and start working on in your creative business plan. And then this is going to be part one. And then part two, we're going to dive in more fully to some of the other things you want to have in your business plan. So first of all, I want to share some of the myths about business planning, all right, and having a business plan. First of all, there is lots of times there's this idea when I talk to women business owners, it's this idea that there's a right way of doing it. Again, back to the I've got to present this to investors and banks and things like that. There isn't a right way to do it. Actually, I would change that. The right way to do it is one that you're going to use over and over and over again. All right. The other myth is that you have to create a plan and you have to stick to the plan no matter what, or you are a failure, a loser, all right? That you have to set these goals. And if you set goals, then if you don't meet them, then you're a failure, or you're lazy, or you're a procrastinator. And that sounds really harsh, but I've heard this over and over again from women around the world, that they are afraid to set goals. They're afraid to create a plan because what if they don't do it? Or what if they change their mind? So here is the thing, is that you are the CEO of your business. So you actually are supposed to watch what's going on in the world. You're supposed to pay attention to what's going on in your life with your energy. You're supposed to listen and reflect and adjust and change your mind and change the plans. You have huge permission. You can change your mind and you can change your plan. All right. So there's such freedom in having a plan, and then knowing that, of course, you're going to be able to change your mind and dance with whatever's coming up. I always call it dancing on a surfboard, dancing while you're surfing. You have to do that because things change so fast these days, as we all know. You don't know what's out there tomorrow. Could be things that are going to change economically, or could be things that change in your family, your circumstances, or could be some really fantastic opportunity that comes your way, like being a host of a TV show that wasn't on your plan originally. So here's the thing though, if you don't have a plan, because that's what a lot of women think, well, then I don't want a plan because I want to be open. I want to have the freedom. I got into this business to have freedom. But here's the thing, what happens is you wake up in the morning and you don't know what to do. And then you either go and hide, start organizing that closet, or getting buried and running your kids around, going to the grocery store, stuff like that, all things that need to be done. But it's like you don't know what to do in your business. So you end up, lots of times you end up hiding in other activities. You end up just kind of waiting for what's like, okay, I'm waiting for things to come to me. Or you go the other direction and you say yes to way too many things that aren't always the best things. So either way, it sucks your energy, right? You're either hiding, you're waiting, you're reacting, you're feeling overwhelmed. So when you have a business plan, it actually says, here's my vision, here's where I want to go, here's what I want to focus on, and here's the best decisions that I'm making right here, right now, with the information that I have. And then that can help guide you as opportunities come your way and circumstances change, because guarantee they will. But at least you're not going to be just sitting there trying to react or getting overwhelmed by saying yes to too many things. All right. I'm going to take a little sip. Now we're going to move into the next part. I want to talk about what a business plan can really be. What you really want to do as an entrepreneur is create a business plan that is perfect for you, right? That is creative, engaging, and even fun. You can have a fun business plan, all right? Something that blends creativity with practicality, all right? Because your business plan can be the central location that really helps give you clarity, gives you focus to your ideas and your decisions, and will give you peace of mind. All right. So I'm just going to check in here real quick before we move on. And all right, I just wanted to make sure that we were, that everything is a go here. The other thing I want you to think about with a creative business plan, which I call a joyful business plan, is you want it to be a living plan. And by living, it's going back to what we were talking about a few minutes ago. You want it to be a guide for you, but it's also going to be this living entity. You're going to feed new ideas, you're going to reevaluate, you're going to change your mind as the CEO, and you're going to change your plans as new opportunities come along for you. Okay, it's going to change and evolve as you do, always. All right. So my solution to embracing this new way of approaching business planning is to create what I call a joyful business plan. All right. I've been sharing this with thousands of entrepreneurs around the world for the last 15 years. And so I'm going to give you some ideas about how to create your own joyful business plan. And at the end of the show, I'll even tell you how we can cut to the chase and you can actually get your own joyful business plan and make it easier. So all you have to do is start filling it in. So first of all is when you're thinking about a joyful business plan, you need to have a place to put all of your ideas and your plans. And so I like to have a notebook, and you can have a 3-ring binder, you can have a journal, you can have anything that you want. But I love these disc-bound notebooks. These are my favorite notebooks. I have them in all colors, they have different colorful colors. And what I know is that if you're listening to this, you're probably really creative and you get inspired, right? And what we want is you thinking about what inspires you. So if buying fun office supplies, if you're like me, and that inspires you, then you want to have a really great place to put your business plan that feels really good when you pull it out, because we want you to pull out that business plan and use it throughout the year. So you want to have 2 different notebooks. Okay. So one is going to be your actual business plan. Here's where you've got things for your business in there, all your different, what we're going to go through today. And so you want to have your very own business, write your name on it. So yes, this is my joyful business plan for joyful business. And that's going to have all of your different, where you put your ideas and your planning, your planning tools and things like that. I'm going to talk about what you're going to put in it. And then your second one is that you want to have, this is like my day-to-day planner. So there's a planning, your joyful business plan, and then you want your planner, right? Your planner is, your daily action planner. Here's what I'm going to show up and do this week and today. All right. So you need the plan for working on your business, where you can put ideas and figure things out. And then you want your planner, which has, what you're going to do this week, your get to-do list, your daily action planners, your content media planner, your promotional calendar, and things like that. So we're going to talk more about that. Here's one of the things that I love too. Let me just show you this about the disc bound, is that you can just pull things out and put things in. You can get a special hole punch for it. I'm just like a proponent. I really should sell these things. But you can pull things out, so you don't have to carry around a year's worth of planning, planners. Like I used to do back in the day with the big giant Franklin Cubbies that would break our shoulders. And then you can add your own sheets in here. So I'm a huge fan of that. And then they have smaller sizes, and I use that for my journals as well. You can get that at any office store, Amazon. One of my favorite places to go is Levenger.com. And they have these really beautiful ones that just have great paper and great covers. All right. So a couple things as you are thinking about your creating your joyful business plan. You want to also think about the idea that you need to set aside time, actually schedule time to work on your business plan. So it doesn't happen in and around everything else, right? You actually need to make an appointment with yourself. And I call it my RAP time, my RAP, reflection, alignment, and planning time. And you want to do this once a year so that you can plan the big stuff for the year. You want to look at checking in every quarter. So I love to do 90-day plans. So you have this mini plan of what's right in front of you. And then you want to have the weekly plan, like we were just talking about with your weekly planning. And here's my daily action plans. And then, of course, you want to have some daily time. This doesn't have to always take hours and hours, but sometimes like the yearly and quarterly, when you're doing a 90-day plan, you want to give yourself plenty of time for that. And you want to put it on your calendar. Really make a date with yourself to have this RAP time, reflection, alignment, and planning. All right. Before we dive into what's in your plan, all right, your joyful business plan, I want you to think too about, because you have a joyful business, you want to make this planning time and think about your environment and really surround yourself with things that inspire you, that bring you joy, that make you smile, because that's going to make you feel more creative, more open to ideas, going to make it easier to ground and make choices. So I love to have fun lights, fairy lights. These are essential. I think fairy lights are essential to any business planning experience. When I have creative business retreats for my clients, VIP days, and also other retreats, I always bring lots of fairy lights because they're magical and they get you thinking, right? They shift your energy, they shift the way you think so that you're open to more possibilities. Also things like if you have favorite stones or crystals, any sort of positive messages. I'm just giving you some examples here. I love having my favorite card decks so that I can pull a card that has inspiring words on it and gets me to think differently, think more openly, right? That is so huge for a business owner, a joyful business owner too, is being able to think more, more expansively, being able to connect to the possibilities and being able to believe in yourself. You want to also have plenty of water, have your tea, have a snack. And then most of all, make sure you tell people around you that you're working when you're doing your planning. So do not disturb, you are working. It is just as important as a scheduled phone call with a client or doing a webinar or a TV show. You would not do those things, right? So that planning time becomes a non-negotiable as well. All right, and then you want to get your favorite notebooks, like I said. And then some of my favorite tools are colorful sticky notes and my favorite pens, markers, things that, they break the rules of business planning, right? I have maybe 5 at the most Excel spreadsheets where I track things. The rest of my business plan, it's mind map oriented, it's visual, it's full of sticky notes and napkin ideas, because that's real life, right? My fun markers, because it makes me smile to write in beautiful, fun colors. So that's what you want. You want to set the stage so that this is something, again, you're doing this because you want to have it be a process where you really enjoy it, right? That you keep coming back to it all year long so that it's a guide all year long. All right, take another sip of my warm water, and we're going to shift the energy a little bit. We're going to talk about what is in that joyful business plan, right? What's that? What do you put in it? So here's where I start. You can do this yourself, or I'm going to tell you how you can get the joyful business plan. I'm going to show you how I do it. I love using a mind map formula or format. Mind maps are where you put a central idea, and then you just randomly put other ideas all around it. That's a really simplified version of mind maps. I use mind maps all the time. I have mind mapping software. I'm a huge fan of mind mapping. What it does, it's different than when you make a linear list, then you start getting worried about, I got to have things in the exact order, or, oh, I wrote things in the wrong order, I need to move things. This is perfect for getting stuff out of your brain onto paper, because we want to get the brain clutter out of your head. All those great ideas you want to have a place to be able to put it, right? This is all about energy, right? And if your brain is all clogged up with all these wonderful, amazing ideas, you can't think about the ideas because you're worried about holding on to them. So you want to have a central place you can go. All right, so the very first place that I love to start with my clients is doing what I call celebrations, acknowledgements, and milestones. All right, and that's where you look back at the year and you say, you write down in, each of these circles, you write down one thing that is, you want to acknowledge. Maybe it was like your favorite clients, amazing clients. Maybe it's how much money you made. Maybe it was trips that you went on. And it can be personal celebrations and acknowledgements for the year, as well as business. Because when you are an entrepreneur and you own your own business, it's like you are the energy of the business, right? So the things that are important to you are going to be important to the business. So if you wrote a book, started a TV show, a podcast, started your newsletter, all of those things, you kept doing your newsletter, that's a commitment. Maybe you did your newsletter and you stayed the course. Maybe there's big purchases that you made. Maybe you invested in your business. Maybe you bought a new iPhone this year or software equipment. Did you save a certain amount of money, make a certain amount of money? Things like that. You also want to put on that sheet who you were being throughout the year. Did you really open up your creativity? Did you make a courageous decision to work with a coach? Maybe you had to be really strong. You went through some really tough personal issues or health issues or, things like that. I know 2 years ago, my mom passed, and that was something that I put on my sheet because I wanted to acknowledge, because it took time and effort, but it also was like strength, and it took energy, right? So those are things that you want to do. One of the reasons why it's really important, first of all, it gets your energy going into an expansive mode, right? Which is what we want in order to start creating the rest. The other thing it does is it will shift when you look at the year that you're celebrating. Lots of times we're like, oh yeah, I did these couple of things, and then here's all the billions of things that I didn't do, right? I didn't get to that again. And we kind of always leave the year with this like, oh, I didn't do these things. But when you actually put it on a mind map and you leave it out for a while and you keep adding things to it, you're going to find more and more things that you did. And you're going to realize, okay, this really big health thing came up and I didn't do these other things, but you know what I did? I was really strong. And that gave me a whole new appreciation for my clients' journeys, something like that. You're going to realize what you did do. So that is an incredible way to start your joyful business plan. And I love looking back at every year and being able to look through my joyful business plans throughout the year and see my celebrations, acknowledgements, and milestones. All right. So the next thing you want to do after you kind of close out the year for that is you want to think about your vision. What is your vision for the new year? All right. New year, new vision. And you want to make some notes about that and let yourself just dream and say, here's what I would love to have happen. Now, I'm really a big proponent of visioning. So I have lots of meditations, visualizations around visioning, scripting. I'm a really big fan of going to the future and scripting your success. So find your way. You might do vision boards. I love vision boards as well. So you can even take a picture of your vision board and put a copy in your joyful business plan, so that you can connect to it all throughout the year. But it's really important to capture the vision because everybody's vision is really unique and different. If we had 10 entrepreneurs we were talking with right now, everybody's going to have similarities, but they're going to have differences. The amount of money you want to make, the impact you want to have, the amount of time you want to spend on your business, the creative products and programs, the way that you want to share your work with the world, the way you want to show up in your marketing is going to be very different for every single person. And so you really want to have that clear vision, right? And then you want to know why you're doing your business. What is important about it? Is it usually money comes in about fifth or sixth? Usually it has to do with you want to do meaningful work. You want freedom, you want flexibility, you want creative expression, you want to be able to change lives, and yes, you want to make money. So you want to be really clear about, what is your why, and that's in the vision. So then that way, when you start looking at everybody else's business and all these things that they're doing, you can come back and say, okay, this is really what's important to me, and it'll help you make decisions and choices. All right. Got time for a couple more. So another thing that you want to do is you want to write down your goals and intentions for the year. So what's really, you've got that big vision, and then turn it into specifics. Do you want to build your list? Do you want to build your list to 500, 1,000, 5,000, 20,000? Do you want more visibility this year? You want to increase your income or make the same income? Maybe that with all that you have going on, maybe you're moving or you have weddings, so making the same amount of income would be a big deal. Maybe you just want, this is one of my favorite goals when you're just starting out, is you want opportunities to do your work, okay? So you're gonna look for opportunities to do your work, and it might be paid, it might be free, it might be in collaboration. You might be stepping into your leadership and you wanna look at leadership opportunities. Maybe you want to create a new group program. Maybe you want to start a TV show, a podcast. So you want to think about what are some of the overall goals and intentions. So that way you can keep coming back to it. okay? You can't do everything in 1 year. I have tried, right? I have lots of creative entrepreneurs and we have tried. And so you need a place where you can really dump these ideas out and then prioritize so that you can come back to it and say, okay, this quarter, my goal is list building. So that means I'm going to do this kind of program because I want to build my list. All right. So those are going to guide you, right? Your vision, and your goals and intentions, right? Then what you want to do is you want to get your calendars out, okay? And I like to follow, we had showed you the sticky notes earlier. I love to use the sticky note planning method. All right. So you want to get your calendar out. And the first thing you want to do is to get everybody's schedules, right? You think about the year, get your calendars out and really think about what's important. If you have kids who are going to school, put your kids' schedule. It used to be one of the first things I would do is put my kids' schedule in the calendar. Your partner's schedules, if they're taking big trips or they've got big things going on. Vacations, time off, put those into your calendar first. Remember, those are some of the reasons why you started your own business, is to be able to do those things. And then you also want to look at your conferences, events, where you know you're going to be traveling. And you want to look at those types of things. All right, so that's how you get started, right? You're going to get your Joyful Business like materials together, your notebook, your sticky notes, your markers, get your ideas out, get your calendars out so that you can put your personal stuff in, and then go from there. On our next episode, I'm going to tell you more about all the nuts and bolts of what you want to have in that business plan. So if you like what we've talked about today, I'd love to invite you to take a look at, excuse me, at the Joyful Business Plan. You can go over to joyfulbusinessplan.com and you'll see the description of the Joyful Business Plan that's already done for you, right? You can either get it printed like that, or you can print digitally, print them all, make up your own plan and planners. And it comes with over 30 different planners and planning sheets. The celebrations of visioning, your goals and intentions, and then some other things we're going to talk about that around marketing, money, your weekly planners, your content planners, all of that kind of stuff, your big yes projects. All of those things are in the Joyful Business Plan. And you can use them over and over and over again. I use these creative worksheets with my clients day in and day out. We're always using them to capture ideas, mind map things, create a 90-day plan. That's in there too. Plus, each of these creative worksheets have short videos that tell you how you can work with the creative worksheets and the planners. So you get, you're not on your own, you get little short videos that tell you how to use each of these. And you can pick and choose, you're not going to necessarily use all 30 of them. All my clients have their favorite ones that they use. But when we do a retreat, they bring their Joyful Business Plan and their planners, and we go through them. And it's a place to hold all the ideas and to hold all the priorities. So you want to go take a look at that. That's at joyfulbusinessplan.com. If you're not quite sure, you want to just get a sample, I've got another little gift for you. You can go to joyfulbusiness.com/5, the number 5, planners. And you can try it out. And you can try out 5 creative planning worksheets. The creative or the celebrations is one that we were talking about. And you can try it out and then see if you like it. And then you can go get your own Joyful Business Plan. So thanks for being here today. I hope that this idea of creating a living business plan, something that really inspires you and reminds you of your vision, your passions, your ideas, your priorities, has you really excited, all right? Because there is a way that you can create a business plan that you can keep coming back to all throughout the year as you have your planning time throughout the year. So make sure you take a look at joyfulbusinessplan.com, and I hope you come back for future episodes. We're going to be talking next week about more about what you put in the Joyful Business Plan as far as the nuts and bolts of your marketing, your money, what offers products you want to do, your content plan, all of those kinds of things. So make sure you take a look at it and get your own creative worksheets. And I look forward to seeing you next week. All right. Take care, everybody. Thank you for watching this episode of Joyful Business TV. I want to invite you to get more creative strategies and support for growing your business. You can start right now by activating your abundance mindset with a really powerful creative visualization that will help you get into the universal abundance current, one of my favorite things to do. And you'll also get a companion 7-day journal that will help you create a daily habit of co-creating with the universe. These are two powerful resources that you can get started right now to help grow your business and activate that abundant mindset. You just go over to activateabundancegift.com.